इतना सा कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में इतना सा फर्क है, एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी, ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानपुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
A very good afternoon to all the viewers, friends, and potential business buyers who have joined us today for our webinar series. I, Archana Sharma, along with the entire team of Franchise India, welcomes each one of you to our Business Opportunity Over Chai webinar series. Franchise India is 23 years old franchising and business solution company, and we are among the top 10 management consulting companies of the India. And we truly claim that no one sells more business than us because we have helped more than 78,000 investors in getting the business solutions and suggestions from our site. With this introduction, may I welcome management team of Franchise India. We are joined by Gaurav sir as well as Sonia ma'am. During the course of the webinar, they'll be sharing their insights, viewpoints, and suggestions with each one of us. This is just a digital representation of the business opportunity which we have got for you. We do not endorse any particular brand. It is our privilege to welcome and invite, rather showcase the brand of the day, which is a retail opportunity for each one of you. Sportsqvest is the brand retail opportunity we have got for you, and we have invited the entire team of brand to talk about their business model, which they have got for you. With this introduction, may I invite Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am to formally launch our webinar.
Thank you so much, friends, and a very good afternoon to all of you. I welcome the entire team and I welcome Swati also joining the webinar along with your team, Swati. And before we start, friends, I'll just give you a little perspective about these webinars that we've been doing and also about an event that we do every evening, which is the Bharat Franchise Show. It's a show that happens every evening where we go to 100 cities every day and bring opportunities which are relevant for those locations. And this is an event which happens for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And I will also request all of you to get registered for this event. We'll also share a link of this event in the chat box where you can also bring in your friends, your inner circle, your partners who want to get engaged in the business. And before I request Swati to formally come and present, and also Digvijay to formally come and present the business opportunity, I will also request Mr. Maria, who's worked with the team for the last almost a month on the launching of this project to set a perspective, and then I'll request both Swati and Digvijay to kindly take over and present the opportunity.
Thank you, Sonia. Welcome, friends, and welcome to our special edition. We have a great opportunity which is going to be unfolded today. It is the first time they're coming out and inviting investors and partners. It's a great opportunity built by both Swati and Digvijay. They have worked very hard to really build this brand. This is a D2C brand, direct to consumer brand, which was first launched digitally. It was available on platforms and also their own e-commerce site. It's a performance brand, and performance is one of the fastest growing category globally. And they work on larger sportswear, performance wear, and also a leisure wear. And now it is a fully extended family wear brand. So I would like to have Digvijay starting with the presentation, and we'll all participate in terms of sharing information. Swati, you can chip in anytime you want to do that. Also, I have a colleague, Anshul, who's also on a call. He will also be part of this presentation. Let's make it very interactive. Ask as many questions you want to do that. And Digvijay, over to you. And
Great,
before we start,
thank you, Mr. Maria. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon to everyone all over the country. Thank you, Franchiseindia team. Am I audible?
Yes.
Absolutely. And I was asking you a question before you start. We need to know your story about the bats behind you.
I'll tell you the story about. So I'm a collector. I collect a lot of sports memorabilia. So you can see that sports runs in the very DNA of everything that we do, whether it's at Sportsqvest or not. That's not just it. There's just, this room is like full of stuff. This is my office. So
wow.
We'll get into that later. I don't want to bore our potential business partners with about me, but let's get right into it with Sportsqvest. So I'm going to share my screen, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
I'll just open that. Just bear with me, folks. All right, here we go. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, you can do a full screen and just.
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, very good. Excellent.
Lovely. So thank you to Franchiseindia, which is why we're here and making this presentation. Sportsqvest is our trademark registered brand, which was started in 2015 as a B2B brand. And the following slides will tell you a little bit more about our journey. So this is what we're going to go through today. A small introduction, a little bit about our products, some business statistics, and then the model that we're looking at to engage with our potential partners in the future. So just a little quick thing about Sportsqvest. Everyone will get access to these slides as our partners at Franchiseindia will share this with you anyway, and then you can come back to us with more questions. But Sportsqvest started as a pure B2B brand in 2015, where we catered to making customizable sportswear for sports organizations, corporates, and anybody who needed customization for the activewear segment for their either sporting needs or luxury needs, completely branded and customized to that brand or that club or that team or that corporate's requirement. So the idea, even in 2015, was to be ethical, where we would have the least amount of impact on our climate and the environment, yet be affordable and give very bespoke, trending, customizable sportswear options. So we worked with groups and teams to bring them the best in-class design, for which we had our own in-house design team, which I'll speak about in the next few slides. So that's how Sportsqvest started. We saw a big opportunity in the Indian e-commerce segment, which is when we launched our B2C digital platform in 2019, which really took off, and it surprised us all with the kind of revenue that we were doing very early on in our exploration in the B2C market. And B2C was purely our own website. It was not omni-channel at that time. Then we grew into an omni-channel presence with Amazon and Flipkart. And now we're looking at taking the brand offline to have the entire basket and the range of a sales channel that's available and disposable for us to bring Sportsqvest under all these banners. A little bit about Swati and myself. We co-founded it as husband and wife. We're both graduates of foreign universities in America. And a key thing that we realized that we wanted to bring to the Indian consumer, which we realized spending over 5 years abroad, is that we wanted to bring the quality and professionalism that brands abroad deliver to their customers, we wanted to have that sort of presence here. And we found a need of sportswear as this gigantic market abroad in America, which was making inroads in India primarily through foreign brands. As you would have heard of the Nikes, Reeboks, Adidas, Puma, Under Armour, all these giants. Indian homegrown brands did not have the same limelight, whereas Indians were paying a very high price for foreign brands. And over the course of the last 5 years, you would have noticed a lot of Indian homegrown brands. I don't want to sit and name them, but there are loads of very good quality homegrown brands who also found this market gap to bring ethical, affordable, good quality sportswear made right here in India. Because what's happening is that Indians are manufacturing for foreign brands and selling under foreign labels here. And the proof is in the pudding. As soon as we launched, there were takers for our product. And we identified that we need to scale our digital presence and move from B2B to B2C, and have both in sync with each other, while the B2B can also thrive and survive as its own baby. The B2C market is a massive market, and sportswear direct to consumer in India is a massively growing market for us, which I will get to with numbers now in the following slides. So that's why Swati and I decided that we need a Indian homegrown sportswear brand and bring the professionalism and expertise of quality sportswear to India. A little bit about sustainability. I think it's a very important aspect of our sensibilities, where manufacturing world over has seen a lot of criticism from emissions perspectives, wastage, landfills, and the apparel segment does contribute a lot to the environment in a very negative way. And you would have heard of many brands globally making a pledge to reduce their emissions, to plant more trees, to reduce their wastage, control their inventory. And from the get-go, we've been adamant that we will, our factory would be backward integrated, where it's a zero waste factory. Every single scrap that comes out as waste material gets recycled and repurposed into a new product, whether it is carpets or blankets or even shoe holders. So nothing goes to the landfill from our factories. And our pledge is by 2025, we would be able to plant enough trees in central India to offset and balance our emissions that we're creating from our manufacturing, to have like a carbon neutral company by 2025. That's really the goal from a sustainability perspective. Another commitment, as I'd mentioned earlier, is that quality control, since we own our own factory, which I'll also get to later, and I've spoken about recycling, that's the first point. Our just-in-time inventory not only allows us to keep up with trends, but it also allows us to optimize our inventory, where we can get to the market, whether it's online or whether now it'll be in physical stores, to get the products that are trending and optimize our inventory such that we'd be able to provide the right kind of inventory to the right kind of locations. So if it's, say, Bangalore, it might have a different kind of product range. If it's Delhi, it might have a different kind of product range. Winter in Delhi may not be a winter in Mumbai. And like you would know, manufacturers require scale. And as we control our own factory, we would be able to create the inventory that is optimized for the right location at any given point of season. So that's our commitment to ourselves and our future partners. Here's what sets us apart. So I've again spoken about manufacturing. We'd like to keep that in our control for a very long period of time. That allows us the flexibility to create the right kind of inventory at the right kind of time and go to market faster. Design, again, our in-house design team, along with listening to the market, since we have lots of data points and touch points when it comes to online commerce, we know what's trending. we know what market segment, what age demographic, what geographic demographic is seeking. Someone in a tier 2 or tier 3 city is seeking something very different from someone in a tier 1 city, or maybe a tier 3 or tier 4. Our design team allows us the flexibility to create design and prototypes products for everyone. Online commerce allows us to see what customers are telling us. So that's point number 4, where we listen to our audience. So it helps us better cater to the needs of the customer. And since we have our own factory, we can prototype a design within 48 hours, do a trial run online, and take it to market much faster than anybody else in the segment. Customization, point number 3, is very unique to us. It's something that's been very dear to us because and our following slides will also tell you about that, where a customer, whether it's an individual or a group, can customize a product with colors, names, logos, and have it absolutely bespoke, made to order for them. That does 2 things. Not only does it drive customer loyalty, but what it does is it gives potential business partners extra added revenue, because they're not holding this inventory. They can upsell customized products to their customer outside of the inventory that they're holding. So it becomes more of a virtual play and additional sales touch point for a retail outlet. A little bit about our brand logo, why we chose the iconic infinity sign, and we blended it with, so it's a slanting S with the Q, which abbreviates it to Sportsqvest. Infinity was something that, as the word says, it's ultimate, it's beyond limits, it's infinite. And I think sports, health, fitness does that. It pushes you beyond your own limits. And I think it was a very strong fit for a sportswear brand to have infinite possibilities, not only from a product side, because we can create those designs, but also pushing the human limit in fitness and healthcare segment. As our entire demographic gets fitter, it's become the new trend and the new rage, to push your limits and get fitter and do what the human body has not previously perceived to do. So access to healthcare and fitness has become the new online trend, and it's for the better. So we're glad to be a part of this world. A little bit about our branding as to how we conceptualize our labels, our swing tags, our packaging. We go into the details that not just the physical product, but all the supplementary and ancillary design elements that make the product the whole. We spend a lot of time trying to make sure that the end customer is delivered a very aesthetically pleasing product in this segment. So this is just a little bit. It goes much beyond this, but we're just telling you about our design philosophy. Going into products, there are 3 major categories of menswear, womenswear, and kidswear. And within that, we focus on 5 segments. Activewear, which is obviously a huge segment, and it ranges. I will be talking about the products now, but it has a very wide range of products. Fan jerseys, which we've loved because we take inspiration from a lot of sports: football, cricket, basketball, tennis, kabaddi, and we create inspirational jerseys that sync with the current trending mindset of the consumer at that given point of time. So if kabaddi is trending, we try to create kabaddi inspired jerseys. If cricket is trending, cricket is always trending, but we try to create cricket inspired jerseys, and so on and so forth. Cottons is a no-brainer in that sense. India is the center of cotton production in the world, and that's our leisure wear segment. So we wanted to have a touch point there and have some kind of market penetration. So we have a cotton presence on our website and in our manufacturing. Customization, I've spoken about customization, and we'll be talking about it in the subsequent slides, so you'll get an idea of what we do with customization. And teamwear, which is more a B2B segment, which we continue to thrive on, where corporates, teams, and clubs come to us for bulk and bespoke customization, where their logos, their colors, and we customize an entire range of products for their needs. Here's a glimpse into our product range. There are about 7 or 8 major categories, which I'll talk about. Polos, no-brainer. Again, a lot of you would have, it's a big market segment, polos. We do very versatile and diverse range of polos, polyester and polycotton, with loads of designs. And we tend to stay up to trend and change our designs every couple of weeks, introducing new products and new designs, and carrying forward the ones that that the market bites on, and then discontinuing the designs that don't. So polos, and we have a blend of polos that really sell well, called Mars Polo, which I'll talk about again later. Graphic tees is something that's unique to us. We make a lot of interesting printed graphic activewear in polyester, where it's funky, it's colorful, and we come up with loads of interesting designs season to season, which we introduce to the market, and it's quite a hot seller. Workout basics. This segment's important because it's a more affordable price point. While it has elements of designs, it's more for the hardcore fitness and workout enthusiasts looking to have bulk, basic tees in their cupboard or in their closet, where it's a high use and frequent item. So we like to bundle these products and sell them as 2 or 3 and sometimes even more to a single customer. Here you can see a interesting design of a vest and racerback vest, where we have interesting prints that happen. Camouflage was a very trending topic for the last, it was a design that was trending over the last 1 year. And we really capitalized on that and came up with very funky camouflage patterns that sold really well. And so that's just a glimpse into our vests. Extremely popular for the gym goer and people visiting their local neighborhood gyms, and even for running, but mainly for the gym enthusiast. In the shorts and lowers category, we don't do simple and basic shorts. That's one segment, but we do have a lot of functional and versatile shorts with interesting detail and pocketing, where it carries your phone. It could carry your headphones and things like that, and they stay snug to the lower, so they don't interfere with your run or your workout. So our shorts category is a very interesting category. They also come with innerwear attached or non-attached innerwear. So that's shorts. Hoodies and jackets are interesting because the lightweight hoodies and jackets work very well for a pre-gym and a post-gym workout, whereas northern India needs the slightly thicker hoodie and jackets for their winter workouts and the winter wear, which can also work as a leisure category. So that's where the hoodies and jackets range is an extremely versatile category, which caters to both winter as well as summer wear, and we modulate our fabrics to suit the season and the geographical region.
Vijay?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you, but just run through it a little quicker.
Sure. Fan jerseys, another interesting segment, done really well, which is the inspired jerseys segment that we were talking about. So we pick up on events that are trending across the world, and we create designs that would inspire enthusiasts in the sporting realm to pick up these jerseys, and it's quite a hot seller. Spoke about cotton basics already, so I won't touch on that. Customization, again, spoken about, so I won't speak too much about that, but anywhere from personalization of initials to changing colors, adding logos, that's really our forte. So again, women's wear, similar, from whether it's leisure wear or workout wear, there's an entire women's range, and then there's an entire kids wear range, which is from leisure wear and active wear. So we combine the entire umbrella of men's, women's, and kids wear to create this kind of portfolio of products covering all segments of society. This is the customization process, from design, adding colors, adding logos, adding name and number. It's a pretty simple 4-step process that a customer can engage in and create a pretty unique product. Some of the firms we worked with, I mean, we worked with over 400 firms, but from Sachin Tendulkar's academy to Rajasthan Royals to hotel brands. We're also shareholders in Man Up, Woman Up, which is with celebrity Anusha Dandekar. Sportswear, I mean, sports brands such as Red Bull, fan wear brands such as Bharat Army, which is India's largest fan wear fan organization. These are just some of the brands that we worked with and created products for. Going into some statistics, since May 2019, in a little over 2-year horizon, we've done just over 8 crores in sales. This is only online, only on sportsqvest.com. This is not Amazon, Flipkart data or any other omni-channel or a third-party data. This is just purely on our website. Average customer, whether they buy 1 item, 2 items, 3 items, an average customer spends 1,550 rupees on our website. Products range between 700 and 2,000 rupees. 23% of our customers are repeat customers. They come back to us within a quarter or within a year, but the 23% is a repeat customer base for us. And the Mars Polo is an interesting product that sells at a very high price point of 1,900 rupees, which is the highest average price point selling product. Some customer stats: we've acquired 41,000 unique customers since May 2019, just on our website, not omni-channel. This is our repeat customer base, which is 21 or 23%. We acquire 1,700 new customers per month and growing. So that helps the unique digital footprint on our website. 76% of our customers are serviced through 27,000 pin codes in India, followed by a little American presence, UK and Irish presence as well. Coming to the business model, here's the market segment. We were talking about women's wear, kids wear, and men's wear. You can see how that's transitioned. Women's wear is growing marginally over 3 years, as is kids wear and men's wear, but largely the pie remains the same, where these are the three, the 3 demographics that we are focusing on, and we cater to products in all 3 segments. So, and we're flexible and versatile to move in whichever direction that the market allows us to move. You can see clearly there's a big scope for branded apparel market in India. This is in US billion. Over 2012 to 2020, you can see the trajectory. It's more than doubled, and from a branded segment, it's tripled almost. So this segment is just with more people coming into the affluent category and the middle class rising. This can be even more lucrative from a sales perspective. Digital first brand, as I spoke about, we're planning to move offline, which only strengthens the brand presence, and it also establish the credibility of the brand when we go offline. It's only a natural projection to go from B2B, B2C, online, and now to have physical stores. Here you can see where Sportsqvest is positioned. You can see the graph high price, low price on the vertical axis, and performance and fashion on the horizontal axis. So we're more of a performance brand at the slightly lower price point, affordable segment. So that's where, Sportsqvest is positioned here. I think it's a fairly unique position where we're affordable. We can scale up, and we'd like to stay in the performance category, which is a very fast growing category, but yet be affordable for the mid-market consumer. The product strategy mix, you can see that, destination, the first point, as I said, women's, men's, and kids wear. So we're a complete family sportswear brand. Our speciality, fan jerseys sell like hotcakes, and customization, which is unique, which is an upsell, as well as creates a lot of brand loyalty. Seasonal, I already spoke about, where we have the flexibility to create seasonal products and go to market much faster than any other brand because we control our own manufacturing. Impulse purchases or merchandise, caps, wristbands, socks, those are always great add-ons that consumers love, because they can bundle it with whatever they're buying in the sportswear segment. Here's a value proposition. It's a multi-channel business opportunity. B2C, which is retail exclusive brand outlet for walk-in customers, online to offline. So business leads generation by Sportsqvest, order fulfillment by the franchisee. It's a great upsell opportunity. Business to institution, customized sports uniforms, very big segment. If there is a retail presence where the customer can touch and feel the product and place the order there, it's a much faster go-to market and sale for anybody having the confidence to speak to somebody in person. Corporate, schools, and sports clubs is the major segment which we would like to capitalize in tier 2 and tier 3 cities especially. Here, tier 2 markets, as I spoke about, going to be very popular. It's also a market online that we cater to immensely. You can see we've broken it out north, south, west, and north, south, west, and east. There's a lot of disposable income in tier 2 markets. It's also tier 2 markets online is our highest selling demographic. It is underpenetrated from a retail perspective. The next 100 cities beyond these first 10, but this is just somewhere where we've identified we'd like to be present in: Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and a few more is what we've identified, but we're open to looking at other ones that you can see in the chart here, which are big markets to capitalize on in the coming years. Here's a go-to market approach: single unit or city master franchise, Sportsqvest franchise partner, retail online to offline, and a catalog sales for the business to institution, which we spoke about earlier. You can see that we're looking at a 350 to 400 square foot outlet. You're looking at a project investment of give or take 20 lakhs, where 9 lakhs, give or take, is your stock. Fit out 6 lakhs, a franchisee fee of 1, signage 1, pre-opening 2, and property deposits 1 lakh. So that would just about give you the basics of a 20 lakh investment, with an annual sales in year 1 projected at 75 lakhs. Typical annual stock turnover 4x. So you give or take INR 15 lakhs into 4, that will give you 60 lakh annual sales. You add your online to offline, you add your business to institution at 15 lakhs, which I think is a very fair number to look at for the walk-ins coming and placing orders directly with the franchisee. Gross margins, retail 40%, online to offline 25%, give or take. Operational expenses, rent, give or take 50,000 per month. and additional overheads at 50 to 60,000 per month. Typical ROI, your return on investment about 15 to 18 months on a single unit. Moving on, an ideal partner profile, we're looking at property owners looking to do something interesting with their property, or a multi-unit opportunity. If it's an operator perspective, a young entrepreneur looking at a new setup, someone who loves sports, excited to be in the fitness and healthcare category is an add-on. An existing retail operator, whether it's in apparel or non-retail, but who has some retail experience, would be fantastic, because they would probably have some experience on a B2C retail storefront perspective, and to someone looking to convert the existing franchise into the sportswear segment. That way they have some experience coming in from a retail perspective. That's an ideal partner profile that we're looking at. Key support functions, product supplies, obviously, private labeling, marketing, business development for online to offline, social media campaigns, which we're already very good at. We've spent to acquire just our 40, I know it's not much, but 14,000 followers on Instagram and more on Facebook. We've spent zero in customer acquisition. That's just purely all organic. So with a retail front, if we have more to do around that geographic demographic, there's lots more we can do to push our customer engagement to our franchise stores. Promotional schemes on multiple aggregator platforms, it's something that we're looking at doing, especially once we onboard franchisees. Business to institution, customized uniforms, development of the entire B2 institution business model for that particular franchisee, because you would have a loyal customer base coming back to you every now and then. So that'll be where we will support as the B2B segment. New product development, if there's an opportunity there to merchandise and license brand and bring that to the franchisee, that's something that we're looking to do. And obviously entire stock management, from rotation, EOSS support, stock correction, and everything to do with stock management is something that we'd be doing. All right, some great reasons to partner with Sportsqvest. Great young demographic segment, massive tier 2 market, aspiration and access to money, lack of avenues still in the sportswear retail outlet segment is I think where India is poised to take the next leap in retail. And obviously creating the brand presence, there's scope to do a lot more, but I think the India opportunity is just begging to be answered with having sportswear outlets in tier 2 and tier 3 markets. Our strengths, it's a complete sportswear brand, men, women, and children. So there's no market segment that's left out. Bringing on licensed and merchandise brands for that extra flavor and that extra push from a branded perspective. To integrate vertically with the manufacturing and retail outlet, that's something that we can do quite easily. And to finance and support pan-India expansion, I think that's really the key to reach 100 stores over the next coming years, to have that strong brand presence all over India. What does a franchisee benefit with? Athleisure is a commonly known, it's a common name now in India. Big, again, huge in Western markets. It's come to India, growing segment now. I think a franchisee will just benefit from the athleisure wave. Multi-channel opportunity, as we said, B2C, online to offline, and B2B. So all need to work in sync. The customized and design products, I can't say enough about it. It's really kept us going throughout even the pandemic, because there's always been a need for customized products, and well-defined support functions for the franchisee from our end is something that These are our key defining points with SportsQuest. And that's really the entire nutshell. And that's a presentation. Thank you.
Fantastic. And we can see a huge energy and a great presentation from you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And you didn't let us speak at all.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just going with the flow, so I made sure I covered. I covered as much as I could.
It shows the passion of a founder. It was so coming naturally to you. Do that. Swati, you want to add a few things which you want to talk about, and then we bring in even Anshul to share a little bit on a financial model.
No, so I think Digvijay has pretty much covered everything, and he's done a fabulous job. So thank you, Digvijay. If there are any questions, we're happy to answer them. But Mr. Maria, over to you. You and Anshul.
Thank you. Anshul, you want to quickly run through a little bit of a financial model? So friends, before Anshul really comes in, it's a great opportunity. This is a direct-to-consumer brand. Direct-to-consumer, if you really read through a little bit, Google it out, and you will find this is the fastest growing category in the world. People are looking for fresher brands. They're looking for fresher opportunities. They're looking for specialty offering and so on and so forth. And performance wear and also leisure wear has become a huge category in India. If you really see, the entire internet and everything is really full of that. This is an opportunity to really do that. Every company is moving towards that, because especially in this COVID period, health has become very important. Fitness has become very important. Even sitting at home, you want to really be in the leisure and mode. And somebody asked a question. I said, fitness is not just about going to gyms. It's actually going for a morning walk or even doing some exercise at your home. Almost everybody has multiple apps now in their phones, and they're using this. So this category, if you really see, people are making the maximum purchase decisions essentially on this category. And this category, they have really done very well. It's backed by a lot of intelligence. It's backed by a great opportunity which is designed. Also, it's a new age retail model. New age retail model is just not about waiting for customers to come to your store. It is also about to create what I call O2O, online to offline kind of a structure, where you understand your neighborhood. You become a brand ambassador for so to say, fitness and leisure wear in your region, and you create a direct consumer offering, which means that any online inquiry which is coming to them also would be fulfilled from that store. So essentially, it become a super hyper local, where you will be able to do that, and customer gets a greater choice. He can make changes. He can really do his fitment. A lot of people complain that when they only order online, they don't get the right fit, so on and so forth. So when you go to retail, you can do that. And plus also, retail would offer what I call catalog line. We'll talk about all that in a little while. But before, I would like Anshul to come in. And Sonia, if you can start capturing questions also. Please go out and ask your questions. Sonia and I would take a lot of questions with Swati and Digvijay. Over to you, Anshul.
Yes, sir. Okay. So I hope this screen is visible to everyone. Okay, great. So, friends, as has been discussed during this presentation by Digvijay, we're looking at, a store of 350 to 400 square feet. The splits in terms of the overall investment in the project.
So before we go into that, why we're taking 400, it's going to be your neighborhood, normally a premium neighborhood, residential neighborhood, which means that you are in, say, in Hyderabad, anything between Jubilee Hills and Banjara Hills, but you don't have to be in the main place. You need to be in a little bit of community market where people can access easily. A nice parking is available. You can easily come there and do that. So I would say the comparative product would be a brand like Jockey, but Jockey is just an innerwear brand. But if you see, jockeys are not available in the main store. It does extremely well. So we would like to be just next to Jockey. So wherever you see a Jockey opened up, we will like to be the next store to that. So that's a kind of an opportunity. It gives you great access to the market, but also gives you much lesser rentals, which you don't have to do. And this is a great time to get stores like that, because you're getting an absolutely low rental. It's about 25% correction already. And today, if you take the location, you get an advantage for the next 9-year lease of the reduction of the rentals which you get. So over to you, Anshu.
Right. So, as mentioned, so this 350 to 400 square feet store ideally placed in locations as sir just mentioned, next to a jockey store, neighborhood locations. In terms of the investment now, we're looking at between 18 to 20 lakh rupees in the project, split with about 6 lakh rupees. Then initial stock of 9 lakh rupees, which at MRP becomes a 15 lakh rupee value, right? And this has implications to your sales potential also. So typically a store would do a 4 turnovers to get to what 60 lakh rupees annual sales, right? Signage of 1 lakh, franchise fee 1 lakh rupee, and then we're looking at a launch marketing budget of 1 lakh rupee. If we also add the initial lease deposits for 2 to 3 months period, we have assumed a rental of 50,000 rupees. And as sir has highlighted, that we're not looking at getting to the top locations, but neighborhood locations, which is accessible, close to the customer, and makes it very easy for customers to just come in and pick up the product. Right? So 50,000 rupees the monthly rent assumed. Overall, about 20 lakh rupees in the project, including the lease deposits that you would need to do. Right? Now, coming to the performa or understanding the revenue. So walk-in customers. So this is linked to the initial stock taken at 15 lakh rupees, and doing an annual stock turnover of 4 gets to 60 lakh rupees annual sales. Plus, we're also looking at an additional 15 lakh rupee revenue to come from B2I or B2B, which is the catalog sales we've spoken about. And third opportunity is the online orders. So which companies building uh, the leads through online business, but you get the opportunity to fulfill that order. So you obviously get margins in that. That's the O2O opportunity we spoke about during the presentation. So overall, year one, we're looking at 75 lakh rupees of annual sales. Uh, Given the margin structure, 40% for the retail, 30% for B2B, and ideally 25% on online orders, with 75 lakh rupee sale, we're looking at 26, 27 lakh rupees of uh, gross margins with you, right? Now, from that, we take out our staff salaries, which is again, given this is a 350 to 400 square feet, we're looking at 2 to 3 people team. Uh, you know, so that's and then incentives, rent at 50,000 rupee, 1% each towards local marketing. So local marketing is what you would be able to spend yourself, of course, guided and uh, expert opinions shared by the company with you in terms of what needs to be done. 1% goes to company, so company can accumulate that fund and put up a larger marketing for you. Apart from that, a few other utilities expenses. So overall, we're looking at 13, 14 lakh rupees of annual net earning for you, right? So again, I'll repeat: 75 lakh rupees of sales, 27 lakh rupees of gross margin, and coming down to 13, 14 lakh rupees of net earning per year for you. And this is just the year one numbers. As you can see, as we move along year 2, 3, 4, we're looking at 15, 16 lakh rupees of sustainable earnings every year. So given the initial investment of 18.5 lakh rupees, you should be able to recover this money within 15 to 18 months period. So, so that makes, yes.
So it's a low cost franchise opportunity. When I say low cost, you have a very small capex. The total investment is about 18 to 20 lakh rupees. Out of that, the only investment which you put in the capex is the interiors of the store, and the rest is your stock, which is coming to you. And the stock doesn't have a risk. So technically, a lot of people ask me when they open up a retail, you have only the capex which you are putting in, and that's the only amount is on a risk. Rest is your working capital. So that's your stock is not too much of risk, and with the company's capability, that is anyway liquidated. So that's not a part of the structure. If you really see the initial investment, very clearly defines that that initial stock is about 9 lakh rupees at a wholesale level, which would be at a 15-16 lakh rupees at a MRP level. So you get about 15-16 lakh rupees of stock which is lying there, and then investment is only 6 lakh rupees in interior, about a lakh of rupee as a signages and and your branding and signages, and a lakh of rupee as a franchise fees. And initial launch fund, which is again your working capital, you need to keep about a lakh of rupee. So friends, go out and ask the questions. We will be more than happy to take that questions. And from a sales viewpoint, there are two types of sales. You have to understand, one is a retail sales, which means the customers come and buy or you deliver to the home. That's your retail sales, which is anything available on the shelf comes in a retail sales. The second part is also very big business. We have not discussed this in detail, but it's a very, very big business where they originally started from, is actually a catalog sale. Catalog means that you supply to everybody. It can be schools, it can be corporates, it can be sports clubs, it can be anybody who's looking, universities. Everybody needs these branded jerseys, or they need customization and so on and so forth. So you can really do all customization. Is a very, very large business and a very subscriber business. So if you get some, say, a university coming to you and they start buying from you, and they would continue to buy on a regular basis. So you really build a strong piece on that part. Apart from that, as a owner, you will also do a lot of so to say, exhibitions, a lot of promotions. You can do a small pop-ups at different malls or places like that to drive your sales and structure, and company would also help you to do all these initiatives. So that also becomes a part of it. Very interesting business opportunity. A lot of people are actually writing to us these days and say, I want to start something, but in low cost. And for a tier 2, which I think Digvijay really highlighted, which is one of the biggest strengths for the company, because they work everything, because they are digital first. So they have absolutely analytics to tell where the customer is already buying from them. So their data is very clear. So they would know how many customers are actually ordering in Surat. So they know that subscriber base is already present with them. So when you come in and you open up in a particular city, so that also comes as an advantage. Over to you, Sonia, for your questions now. Let's start getting into questions.
So friends, I'll encourage, I see some hands being raised. I would request all of you to please put your questions in the Q&A. We'll take it with your name. And when you do that, if you can also mention the city of your interest, will help us. And I would also add, if you look at the overall Indian retail market, there's a clear rise, and I would say there's a new wave of D2C brands which are selling amongst the top brands in the country. And even with the COVID and the pandemic in the last 1.5 years, many of these companies who have been leading have rather done substantially well in their overall performance. And I would say that is also the case with the company that we're presenting, which is Sportsqvest, which is starting May 2019, which I read on the slide. That's when they had started doing their sales. And the kind of sales that they have clocked is remarkable. And not many companies, some of the leading brands I know we work with, would not have done that, even with their physical stores which are present. And a very clear thought strategy of tier 2 as a focus, because undoubtedly we know that the drive of the next phase of retail is coming from tier 2 and 3 locations. So a couple of questions, Digvijay and Swati, which I'd like to take from our investors, which they're asking. And some and maybe my first question would also be, because you already online player, you are your product is going in all cities pan India, and you have a lot of data intelligence of which cities with highest demand, and based on that we carved out the locations where you want to enter. Now, one of the questions which I saw, and I did see a mention of that in the presentation also that you made, is the integration of the online and the offline. When we talk about sales, and if I say I'm opening up an Indore and you already have a subscriber base already in the city, so my first question will be on the integration of these two, which is physical store. If somebody's running a physical store, will he get some part of it, or would these two be treated as different channels altogether for a partner?
So, okay, just quickly to answer that, actually, there's a great opportunity for the franchisee situated in whichever town. They could have a pie of our online sales through just a promo code, so we, to every store, every franchisee, we will give them a promo code which they can give to their consumer, their customer, and they get a percentage of the sales even through online, just through that promo code, and we're able to track it all, legitly, where they can see everything. It's very clear. So yeah, they actually have access to our online sales as well, and not just what's in their store.
All right. You're on mute, Digvijay.
You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. I'll just add to that. Yeah, very valid point, and a good question. See, if we onboard a franchisee, it is our job as brand owners to ensure that we do as much as we can for our franchisees. And the e-commerce segment is growing, no doubt. It's going to be a massive segment, and and this sportswear itself is growing in the e-commerce space rapidly. But that saying as it goes, and which is going to be standard, jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai. If that physical touch and feel, you can't replace that. In the pandemic has shown us that, okay, Zoom and you can do lots online, but if this virtual meeting was a physical meeting, it would have a very different kind of connotation. So it's our job to ensure that from a social standpoint, from a website standpoint, we do as much to drive traffic to the physical location, because at the end of the day, a salesperson and a one-on-one conversation between a customer and a salesperson, you can't beat that. You can't beat that hands down anywhere. And promo code is one, but there's so many things we can do. Obviously, the store would be listed on our website as well. And the store itself will have a lot of unique products which may not be available on our website. So say you took the example of Indore. Since we have the general target demographic of what kind of items people are buying on our website who've come from Indore, we would like to work with the franchisee to give them more of that product and give them some exclusive ranges as well. So it's only available at their store, and it is targeted towards the customers coming to their store.
And there's another point that every franchisee should consider. Considering we're not distributors, right? We're manufacturers, and we own the brand itself. So we're dealing with a franchisee directly versus there being a distributor in between, and the franchisee giving a part of their earnings to the distributor, part of their profits to the distributor. Here they're taking the full revenue that they could make, because they're directly dealing with the manufacturer. And so it's our responsibility as a brand to make sure that they thrive and they grow as much, because that's when we will also feel success. We're not like a Nike or an Adidas where we have thousands of stores. This will probably be our first, our second, our third, and then maybe 100. But we want to make sure that 100 stores thrive, because that gives us the confidence to just keep growing. So yeah, definitely the franchisee will really gain a lot, investing in a sportswear store.
Sure, Swati. And that's an important point you've made, and especially, because you do it direct manufacturing, it goes to your customers and also to your partner, which means that you're eliminating one tier or one layer, which would take, some percentage of the margins, and which adds up maybe an extra value for your franchise partner and also for the end consumer in terms of margins as well as the pricing. And that's very important, friends, to note. So Swati, my other question, Digvijay, to you would be on the, we talked about overall margins that a franchise partner would get. How would we treat maybe a end of season sale or some kind of, seasonal festive discount policy? Is there a policy around that, and who absorbs these discounts, and how are these managed between you and the partner?
So very good point. End of season sales have to be done. It's just the nature of India. That's when the spikes happen, festivals and things like that. We'll of course work with the franchisee depending on the geographic location. Even from a feedback perspective, especially if the franchisee has some retail experience, whether it's in the apparel category or otherwise, we'll also be able to benefit greatly from their feedback. And we as a brand owner, we would of course absorb some cost, but we would need to also work with the franchisee owner to know how much they are willing to absorb to make sure that the inventory moves out really quickly during that span of time. So there's no set policy at the given point of time, but I think that'll have to be flexible on a case-by-case basis and a geographic region and a demographic perspective.
Sure. Sure. So just to simplify, all these discounts would be absorbed between the partners, and there would not be an extra burden only on one of them to
Sure.
take that out. And another question which I wanted to pick, Dikvijay, because we're entering the physical outfit, for the very first time, and while digitally the brand is known, people are buying. All that being said, what would be a go-to market, especially when we do a launch, and that's something every investor would have a question in their minds, because if I'm the first one to be launching in my city. So is there some kind of a launch plan that we'll work with them, some kind of an added advantage or an extra advantage that he gets, as a benefit? Is there a plan around that?
I think press will be fairly influential, and in the day and age of influencers and social marketing, that's something that we're going to have to look at from a regional perspective. So a regional hero or a locally well-known personality, that's something that we as a brand are going to have to do for the franchisee owner, so they get that drivability and that spike as soon as it's happening. Maybe given COVID circumstances and whatnot, how much we can do physical versus virtual, that's going to have to pan out on a day-to-day basis. But we would be thrilled and we would love to do anything that we can for the brand to grow.
That's helpful.
Absolutely.
And I'll take a question from Mr. Guru Kanan. He says that do you also provide a master franchise? And if yes, typically what is the obligation or the fee structure for a area franchisee? I think while we have not carved out that kind of a plan currently, but I think that is something that we can discuss. Any thoughts on the same, Dikvijay and Swati?
Maybe can I have Mr. Maria jump into that question, please?
Sure. This is a very important. It's actually, I would like to answer it differently. If you have a capability in a particular state to really build something bigger, say you come from Kerala and you feel that I want to do a much more holistic approach to it, which means that it's not just a couple of stores, but also maybe shop in shops with big retailers, because there are different retailers in regions. Kerala has a different modern retail, so to say, and they have a different players in that. So you can create multiple shop in shops with that, or you have some other strategy which needs to be done. We're very happy to discuss that. Franchiseindia is very, very closely working with them on that expansion strategy. We are in rush, but not in rush, which means that our ability is to really find out somebody who's very qualified and also equally passionate about the business. And I had multiple rounds with discussion with Swati on last 3 days. And she was very clear, unless and until she is very sure that they are absolutely ready and want to go out and commit themselves, they will not go into the business. And that shows very good. I like those founders who are very deeply involved in their businesses. They live that passion every single day. And that's what is the responsibility of Franchiseindia also, to really go out and select the right partners. So friends, if you are interested, please apply. We will set up a discovery day in next 1 week where we will do a one-to-one discussions, because this is an open webinar, that's fine, but we like to have a maybe one-on-one discussion which is starting, and we're very keen on some markets, very keen on Pune, very keen on Bangalore, very keen on Hyderabad, very keen on Delhi NCR, because these are markets where there is a lot of demand, huge demand, and also B and C cities, that's also important. But if you are in Bangalore or Pune or Hyderabad, these are markets which have a phenomenal, especially when you put up in some place which is IT centric, you see every customer, every home is your customer. That's how the opportunity is. Any last words, Digvijay from your side, Swati from your side, before we close today's webinar? It was a fantastic, elaborated webinar. Yep.
Yeah, we're just looking forward to speaking to good franchisees who want to, connect with us. Also know that it's a family-grown business, and we're extremely passionate about what we do, and we definitely would be well consumed in your store as well. To give you all the support and the hand-holding that it takes as compared to any of the other international non-family owned businesses. But yes, we would love to talk to you one-on-one, as Mr. Maria said, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. We have at Franchiseindia, we are very shy sometimes not to endorse, but I will 100% endorse their brand and say this is a great opportunity to invest.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Swati. And
Thank
friends,
you.
would
Thank you so
request,
much.
and a lot of your questions I think would need a discussion one-to-one, which we'll select one day as a discovery, then bring you on calls, virtual calls or telephonic calls with both Swati and Digvijay. And I will also request that we share our hotline number and we'll put that in the chat box. You can take that number and also the email ID. You can reach out to us. At the same time, our teams also at Franchiseindia will call all of you and we'll put maybe a slot on the given date. So is there a date, Rashna, that we have already decided that we want to announce?
Ma'am, we are yet to decide with Swati. So Swati, can we discuss, can we keep it on 1st of July?
What we can do is we can even decide offline and
Yeah,
we can communicate
sure,
to all our
sure.
investor friends, and we'll request. And I will also say, because the company will be very choosy about selecting the partner, because it would be their first physical presence after making a very good success on the online platform. And so they also need like-minded people who understand and are maybe initial partners in success and in the business overall. So wishing you all the best, Swati and Digvijay.
Thank you.
very much, Sonia.
And Ashna, over to you for your final remarks.
Thank you so much, Digvijay. Thank you so much, Swati, for coming
Thank you,
to this, for this particular webinar. You help us with the entire dry run and every effort for the preparation of this webinar. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir, Anshul, and our dear friends who have joined us today. Please do reach out to us at our business hotline number, which is 9717683838. We'll try to have the maximum slots booked for team. So please start booking your slots with us so that you can have a one-to-one interaction with Swati and Digvijay. Also reach out to us at our different social handles. We are available at the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as Twitter. Each and every suggestion, feedback will help us in improving our process. You wish to join and connect with Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am at their respective LinkedIn IDs, information on your screen. And as we mentioned about Bharat Franchise Show, we would like you to join us for our Gurgaon chapter under Bharat Franchise Show today, which will start at 7 p.m. We are again bringing 7 top business opportunities for each one of you so that you understand their end-to-end business model and select the right and the best franchise for yourself. And under business opportunity over webinar series 12 p.m., we would like to join us for tomorrow's assorted cuisine brand. That's the brand we are bringing for each one of you. The entire team would come and talk about 5 different models they are offering in market. So please do registration today for our Bharat Franchise Show 7 p.m. and business opportunity over chai 12 p.m. Thank you so much once again for joining in. Have a very safe day ahead. Stay safe, stay happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Bye.
Thanks, Swati. Bye. Take care.